Yo, what's up? So today I get to talk about something that's actually fun and good, and that I think is going to make at least a small number of people happy. And if you are into old school MMORPGs or at least trying them out, it should probably make you happy as well. And that is the fact that TitanReach, a indie developed game that recently was shut down, actually got fully funded by a benefactor, and so its funding is back up. So if you don't know what TitanReach is, don't worry. I'm going to talk about that here. I'm going to go over their website. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, tell you what I think about it. But Kira TV has talked about this game in depth. He talked a lot about the issues that it's had in the past and the funding issues and then its eventual shutdown. And the Lazy Peon has actually played in the alpha or pre-alpha of this game and given a opinion of his own about it. So I'll put links to those in the description, but today is a good day for the developers and people who are excited about this game because it is actually fully funded now. So they will at least get a product delivered. So hopefully it's a good product. Hopefully it's got a decent enough player base, and hopefully it's everything that they said it was going to be. But let's go over their website and then we'll go over the Discord post that from the developers saying that the game has been fully funded. All right, so we have TitanReach is a modern reimagining of old school style MMORPGs. Veteran players will recognize much from the genre they love, while new features bring the game to life for everyone. The game focuses on a deep skilling system, massive fantasy open world engaging quests, and a complex skill based combat system. Okay, so the way that the Lazy Peon, I believe, talked about this in his video was calling it like a 3D RuneScape. Now, based on his playthrough, I tend to agree, but a lot of these old school kind of things are a really high marketing point for MMOs these days. Like they'll say like, "Oh, we're going to have player-owned shops or player-owned housing and we're going to do questing and skilling and all that stuff old school way." So what they really mean is they're going to take a lot of the staples from the genre before and remove a lot of the newer stuff that people hate, like in WoW, all the railroading, the lack of crafting, the lack of attributes and stuff like that, or the same in other games as well. I'm just more familiar with WoW. So they're going to try to remove that new feeling that people really don't like and go back to the old school while making this 3D. And that's like the newer part is 3D, meaning graphically it's changed. And I assume that the back end being more robust, able to handle more numbers and more complex things will be more robust as well, possibly better AI, stuff like that, as well as probably newer ideas that people tend to like. I can't think of anything right now, but possibly borrowing from things that are generally well received from the community and rejecting the things that have lost a lot of players to MMO, have lost a lot of MMO players to other genres in the past decade or so. All right, features social. So this is one of the things that has kind of been removed from modern MMOs, and it's unfortunate, but they say form guilds with your friends and meet new people through group activities, play through open world content together, including mini dungeons, group skilling activities, and group slayer bounties, as well as instanced multiplayer content. Relax with your friends and play board games in taverns or spend time finding a great deal through our player driven economy. Sounds fun to me. I love dungeons. I love playing with my friends, so hopefully this is cool. And the way that the combat seemed in Lazy Peon's video, it seemed really basic and boring, but maybe they'll be able to fix that. Or maybe it'll be just part of the game the same way that battle and RuneScape is just it's a feature that people enjoy and they don't want that removed. So all right, skills. Earn experience in 20 unique skills, each representing a different aspect of your character. As you level up, you unlock new abilities to master, equipment to craft, or new locations to discover. Make your own journey through each skill to reach the ultimate goal of level 100. Okay, sounds a lot like RuneScape or other older MMOs. Combat. Demonstrate your skill with our full action combat system. Combat is a fast paced and dynamic, and to prevail, you will need to carefully aim your attacks while evading the strikes of your enemies. With a limited set of abilities available at one time, your choices are individual and influential. So, based on the Lazy Peons video, this doesn't seem to really be the case, but possibly that was just a really early iteration of the combat, and it's a lot better now. Because the way that it was basically like tab targeting, you kind of just AFK. I don't know if it's still like that. Maybe they have like an action combat system now. I don't know. I hope they do. I love action combat systems. I think they're great. But we'll see. Customization. TitanReach will have a range of free cosmetics and pets which can be earned in the game through quests, in-game currency, and combat. There will also be cosmetics available through TitanReach Store, which will have no impact on the experience in the game other than the physical appearance of your character. So, cosmetic things for purchase, I guess. Customization is something that's really important to MMOs. We just have to hope that their cosmetics that you can purchase aren't better than the cosmetics you get in the game, because that can often disgruntle players, or sometimes if the purchased cosmetics are completely separate from the aesthetic, it can ruin the immersion. End game, put your abilities to the test through open world skilling bosses, combine multiple skills to track down high level Slayer bounties, and face the ultimate challenge in instance based raids requiring team coordination and strong mechanics. Sounds really fun, but also it's very vague. So I don't really know what that entails, but combining skills to do content sounds really cool. I wish more MMOs did this, so I like that idea. In Titan Reach, quests are challenging and varied. You have to use your initiative to travel the world, solve puzzles, explore dungeons, and fight in climatic boss fights. Quests are immersive and narrative driven, which at times means you will have to speak to characters and figure out what to do with limited direction. So, I mean, this is something that people kind of like about old MMORPGs, but also they don't. If you remember back before MMOs had the ability to track the quests on the map, people would just go on like Thoughtbot, or used to be able to buy little handbooks for like games and have directions and stuff like that for like Pokemon or whatever. So I don't know. Like, I feel like there's always been workarounds for these things, and so eventually companies were like, people just don't care about us giving them directions and them having to find it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be better to give like an option to turn on quest tracking and stuff like that. Not sure. Titan Reach started after Fish and Unravel. The two founders of Square Root Studios had been tossing around the idea of making a game inspired by old style RPGs for years. They took the leap to commit to making it in 2019, and the team has grown and become more experienced over time. What started as two members has expanded into a team of 16 people from around the world with a range of skills such as programming, 3D modeling, animation, web design, UI design, and more. So, they're talking about their team, which they actually had to disband, but now I guess they're fully funded, so they get to be back on for this. So it's really fun for them. It's really cool for them. I'm glad that these developers get to live out their dream of making their MMORPG, and I hope it turns out good for the rest of us. But the more pressing thing is Titan Reach had basically lost the ability to produce anything because it lost funding. They had tried to do Kickstarter, Indiegogo. They tried to do some selling of their stuff on their website, and they were able to fund for quite a while, but unfortunately, they ran out of money and they had to stop. I believe, yeah, so it looks like this was on September 19th that this happened, but apparently, about 3 days ago, this happened, where I have some very exciting news. Titan Reach has been fully funded. We are back, baby. Someone very kind has funded this whole game out of the kindness of his heart. No strings attached. It sounds too good to be true, but it's true. More details will come later this week. But thank you for being patient, and let's get this show back on the road. So I might make a follow-up video if these additional details are relevant or prevailing or anything important like that. But the thing is that this was actually fully funded by a single investor, not even an investor, a benefactor, somebody who just said, here's the money, build the game, or whatever. Like, they just fully funded the game with, they say, no strings attached. That means they're not expecting a return. That's why it's not an investment. They're not expecting any kind of authority on the direction of the game. So, no strings attached, apparently. So, now, I of course believe this. Why else would they post this? It would, like, it would just wouldn't make sense for them to post this if this wasn't true, because they had already done this and the 2 months later do this again. Like, that just wouldn't make sense. Also, if they have money, it had to have come from somewhere. So either they're lying about no strings attached, but I doubt it. So it's really exciting for these developers. I'm glad for them. I'm happy for them, and I hope that everything is able to be done with whatever money they were given. I assume that they're going to do their absolute best to put it in that in that money window, because otherwise it would just seem bad to ask for more money after someone fully funded it with their own money. So I'm looking forward to how this game turns out. It does say on their website that early access will be free to play. Okay, now this, of course, was in July, but either way, this is still something that's exciting. It's still something that I'm sure that anybody who's backed it will be excited for it because otherwise you don't get your money worth. You don't get your money's worth. Like you put in money because you wanted to play this game and you couldn't do it because they lost funding, but now you can. So I'm sure there's a lot of people really excited for this. I'm sure that a lot of people are. I'm sure that the developers are very excited and happy that this happened because this is really it was like a passion project for them. So that's pretty much all the news for TitanReach right now. Like I said, of course there's going to be updates to this. If it's big enough updates, then I'll make another video. Otherwise, just keep an eye on their Discord. They pretty much post everything in their Discord. But let me know what you guys think of TitanReach. If you think it'll be a good game, if you think it looks like an interesting game, if you'll play it passively, if you're going to play it very actively, if you've never heard of it, let me know what you think. And let me know how you feel about a single person just funding the entire game because that's interesting to me. Now, I'm not sure how much it would have cost them to fully fund this MMORPG, but it couldn't have been cheap. I'm talking about like maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably something like that. I'd guess. If someone knows, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited for this. I'll play this game whenever it goes into early access, or if I can get access to the alpha or whatever. So that's it for the video. So if you enjoyed the video today, please like and consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot to me and it would help me in the algorithm a lot, and that would be super sick. So thank you so much for watching, but that's it. Peace.